Okay, hey everybody. Wanted to try to get a video in. I've been trying to do this for a couple of days, and by the time my family gets out of my way to for me to do it, I don't feel like doing it. So anyway, I'm wanting this to be kind of a fun video, lighthearted, nothing too deep, no rants. um, uh, I had bought this thing of sidewalk chalk to help entertain my neighbor's kids. My friend who died, um, her grandkids, live at the house, and their mother is there, and then their uncle. Um, they're trying to take care of them, and they both work. Um, so I'm trying to help with the kids and entertain them sometimes. So I bought this sidewalk chalk for them, and my daughter was reading. It was sitting on the table, and she was. Oh, never took the. I never took the covers off the. Oh, Betty! Oh my gosh! Don't start that. This was sitting on the table, and she was reading the names of the colors. And some of them were pretty funny. Black, white, those are fine, not normal. But Timberwolf, Sepia, Purple Mountain's Majesty. That's from one of our national anthems here in the United States, for those who wouldn't know. Apricot, Sky Blue, Blue Green. Okay, those are all normal. Violet Red, Macaroni and Cheese, Green Yellow, Cerulean, Cerulean, red, orange, yellow, Granny Smith apple. So I mean, half of those are kind of like, there's a few, not all of them. I mean, obviously some of them are just normal, but I was like, oh, yeah, I'll share that. With my people. Got my tea, because it's cold and rainy here where I live. Got my little robe on. Oh, and I also, I had gotten a hold of this magazine some months back, and was left in my son's car, and he brought it back to me the other day, yesterday, whatever. Okay. But I wanted to read this story because it's really, this article at the back. It's from Hook and Barrel, and we got the Black Rifle Coffee Company, and we were there hanging out. So I thought I'd read this article because I think it's interesting and funny. It's called Leave It All Behind. An in-flight lesson on somewhat extreme leaf peeping. It says, I was on a plane last fall to do one of those typically manly fall activities like shooting deer or losing my keys. And wouldn't you know it, there was a couple from New York sitting next to me. I knew they were from New York because A, they started every sentence with, I'm from New York, and B, they complained endlessly about the quality of the in-flight pretzels. Once they finished explaining how New York pretzels use magic water that makes them, in fact, the best pretzels in the known universe, and probably in several universes we don't know about, they mentioned they were headed to our destination to go leaf peeping. Okay, go. I'm gonna stop here because I just realized, I don't know if this is a copyright infringement thing. But I've noticed with YouTube, if people stop and make comments, so I can say, hey, this is a commentary. Maybe I can list it under education or something. I don't know. I mean, why can't we just be people and share stuff with each other? It's just, okay, I'm trying not to go in any rants. Oh my gosh, please. Oh, I can't get started on that. But anyway, so if I change it up and I'm not reading the whole article straight, I guess, maybe it's not a copyright infringement. I'll try. If it ends up being, that means I got a second strike and I'll get banned for 2 weeks. So if I go missing, whatever. You only live once, right? I gotta go take risks, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, so the leaf peeping. This sounded like an incredibly silly reason to travel, because who needs to hide to spy on leaves? Leaves can't call the police. I started explaining this to the woman, who interrupted me to tell me she was from New York, then said she and her husband were on their way to a weekend of looking at colorful fall foliage and were not, in fact, perverts on their way to some weird plant-based sex tourism. While I was happy for the poor, innocent plants of Central Virginia, I still found this concept strange. Traveling to look at colors? I'm from Florida, where we see colors the old-fashioned way, with bath salts, and can easily experience fall by listening to the chorus of newcomers saying, I'm from New York. So leaving the state for either seems a little excessive. Okay, and while I'm thinking of it and taking a short break, the person that did this is Matt Meltzer, and Mike Del Rizzo did the illustrations. So I'm giving them credit. Okay, and I'll even give it to the camera a little bit, I guess. I don't know, it's cut off. It's not coming in that clear. But anyway, so before you two guys get your panties in a wad, I told people it was you. Turns out I'm in the minority, and fall foliage travel isn't limited to weird people who talk to strangers on airplanes. Leaf peeping tours draw nearly 5 million people a year, or to put it in 2024 terms, about the same as a Taylor Swift concert. There are even people who track weather patterns and base their entire autumns around fall foliage. These people are called extreme leaf peepers, and they treat changing leaves with the same fanaticism people in Texas have for middle school football. And that is absolutely true. Junior high and high school football in Texas is a very, very big thing, and the games actually make on the news. They are covered on the news, the nightly news. So the news anchors will go to the schools and cover the games at the junior high and high schools here in Texas, where I'm at. That is 100% true. I've seen it on the news, yes. So that I can attest that that is 100% true. And they don't just cover like one school per night. They like go to several. They send their anchors out to several schools in one night. We actually, from where we live, they put in a stadium some few miles from us, probably about 5 miles, like I say, maybe 3 miles. And we can hear it. We can hear the music, the band, and the talking from our house. So yeah, that reminds me of when I grew up, was growing up where I grew up in California. we could hear the cars from the Ascot Raceway there. So if anybody knows of that, I'm not sure if they're still in, but I think they've closed down, but I'd have to look it up. But maybe they're still there, I don't know. But we could hear the cars from my house to the Ascot Raceway track when I was growing up. So that's a bit of fun fact trivia of my life. Okay, anyway, back to the story. The couple next to me made it clear they were not extreme leaf peepers because they had other places to travel in the fall where they could complain about pretzels. But they did show me some maps that track changing leaves. These maps look suspiciously like a Canadian plan to invade the Great Lakes, but since the only thing Canada seemed to successfully invade is outlet malls, I assumed the maps were legit. I asked the man why people travel to see what is essentially plants dying in a blaze of glory. Oh, look, Martha, the black tupelo looks like it won't outlive Jimmy Carter. Where's my Pentax? He said it was kind of like traveling for a football game where you're not really going so much for football but to see a new place. This was my second clue he was probably a Canadian spy or possibly a communist. Because what red-blooded American would travel for any reason other than football? I then realized no self-respecting foreign government would ever fly their spies on Allegiant, even Canada. That's funny. I spent the better part of the next hour hearing about far-off exotic lands with clearly made-up names like the Poconos and Eastern Ohio, where people could drop thousands of dollars to go outside and stare at half-dead maple leaves. I said that sounded kind of morbid, then asked if he wanted to see a picture of the 8-point buck I just killed. That is super funny. Super, super, super funny. That is absolutely super funny. So while I'm still not completely convinced people travel all fall to look at leaves, I guess there are worse things you could do with your weekend, like losing your keys, for example, or scouring the country in search of a magical in-flight pretzel. Okay, so let's see if I get docked for reading that to you guys. Whatever. I'm taking risks. I've always been a no-risk person growing up. So in the last couple of years, I'm taking risks in my life. What the heck, man? YOLO, YOLO. I was planning on showing you our Christmas lights that my daughters put up, but it's daytime, so you can't see them shining. So I was supposed to be doing this video at night, so I could pull aside the blanket on our window and show you the lights, but that ain't happening because it's daytime. And also, I wanted to point out part of my mentality and part of my defiance on this planet, and that is keeping my background messy looking. Because part of me wants it to look messy, because everybody is told to be all trim and proper and all this stuff, and you know, we've lived with Hollywood now for a long time where everything's on camera is all looking perfect, and it's really not. And I'm just not in a hurry to fix it and make it look all pretty and nice. And so I'm not saying that I never will, but yeah. This is my way, I guess, of sticking it to the man. And just say, you know what? Who tells me I have to do stuff a certain way? You know? I am finding out, I am facing myself. I have faced myself now in the last year or so, uh, that I actually have this streak in me that I didn't really realize I had. People had alluded to it or had said stuff to me, and I was like, what? And now I am actually facing the fact that I do have a contrary spirit a lot of times. And I try to keep things at a minimum and it's not too crazy, you know. But yeah. Um, I am having to face that, and sometimes it's not on purpose. I mean, if you know, this happened to me a lot of times, like because I always got cold growing up. I was always skinny, didn't have any meat on my bones, and I would get cold. So I was the one person who didn't want the AC on in the room, and everybody else would be like, "It's hot in here," and I'm like, "No, it's not." Um, so if there was a vote, like should we turn the AC on or not, I would be the one person who would say no. And it wasn't because I was trying to go against everybody else in the room. It's because I honestly that was my opinion. I did not want the AC on. I was freezing. Um so but I am finding out lately in the last, well, if I have to face it, 5 years I started nosing, I guess, in the last 5 years, that there is a part of me that's like when someone says something and basically tells me what to do or not to do, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do the opposite. um, I'm trying to assess myself on that and not get, like I said, get too crazy and it like things that don't really matter. I'm hoping it's like stuff that really doesn't matter, you know. Um, but I've always marched to the beat of my own drum, obviously, and did my own thing. And I remember in high school, I had this one outfit and I loved it. I loved that outfit. And it was not like it wasn't a set. It was a shirt that I had, and I would put it with these pants that I had, and then I used to have these necklaces that my great aunt had given my mom, and then I would, so there was one of those necklaces that you could, was big enough where you could do different things with it, so you could like put it around your neck twice, so it hung so down, and then it was double, or you could loop it up again, so it was like up higher and had like a triple chain of it, and you could do all sorts of things with it. So, and I would wear that as a belt with these pants and that shirt, and that was one of my favorite outfits in high school. One time, my so-called friends left a note in my locker telling me that I shouldn't wear that outfit because it didn't look good. And I was like, what the crap? Excuse me? Um, and I was like, whatever, I'll wear whatever I want. And so, any of you girls, whoever, if you come across this video because you found me on Classmates or whatever, um, yeah, I remember that to this day. Um, and I'm still wearing whatever I want. So when it comes to fashion, I don't give a crap what anybody says. I'll wear white after or before Labor Day or whatever the rule is. Whatever the rule is, I'm not gonna abide by. I'll wear white whenever I want. Okay. Now I do admit that sometimes fashion rules over comfort, but then sometimes comfort rules. And I don't care what it looks like. I want to be comfortable. So that's a piece of fun fact, Susan. Fun fact for you. Um, What, Betty? What? What? I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm not talking to you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So anyway, also was going to share. What? You need to go outside? Is that what you're trying to ask me? Oh my goodness, really? Yes? Is that a yes? Oh my goodness. Okay, real quick. I gotta go. I'm not gonna stop the video, so I'll be right back. Come on, hurry. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, that wasn't too bad, right? I mean, the girls are outside finishing putting up more Christmas lights, and my husband's at a doctor's appointment, and our son's in his bedroom. So if I don't let her out, then there's she's gonna sit there. You know what I'm saying? We don't want her. Anyway, doing her. Anyway, so I wanted to give the story behind how I got started in blogging back in like 2012. And this is when YouTube was everybody was starting to like watch YouTube more and more. And I discovered that you could look up songs on YouTube. And so I decided I wanted to hear Neil Diamond's Forever in Blue Jeans. So I looked that up and listened to that, which then led me to, because you know you have the thumbnails on the side. So I was like, oh, there's other songs. So then that got me wanting to listen to other songs. So I was on YouTube listening to songs. And in my thumbnail, there was a lady who had a hymn. I guess she was singing. So I had clicked on it, and her name was Rhonda. And I was listening to her sing this hymn. And then I just decided to check out her channel. And she was, had a few vlogs on the channel. And then she was talking about her blog site and had a link on her channel. So I went over to the blog site and checked out some of her stuff. But of course, if you want to leave a comment, you have to have an account. So I was like, hey, what the heck? I've never done this before. Let me join this site. Because I wanted to leave a comment, like tell her how much I thought I loved the song, her voice was so pretty, or whatever it was I wanted to say. And I think some of her vlogs really talked to me or whatever. So I just want to let her know. And the name of that site was Multiply. Now they've since shut the blogging part down. Now maybe they have the marketplace part still going on, I'm not sure, but they had the blog, and then they started like this marketplace section where you could sell stuff. So if you did handcraft stuff or whatever, you could post things that you wanted to sell. Well, after a while they decided, oh, that's our money maker, not the blogging part. So they got rid of the blogging part and to concentrate on the marketplace part. Whether how successful that was, I don't know. And maybe it didn't make it through COVID, I don't know. But anyway, so I was doing this blog on that site, and that's how I got started, by coming across this lady's video on YouTube. All started with wanting to hear Neil Diamond's Forever in Blue Jeans. forever in blue jeans. And that lasted for several years until that, like I said, they shut down. And then I had to go find another place. And I tried Facebook for like 2 weeks and I couldn't stand it. And I went, nope, I'm out. I could not stand Facebook. And then I found, I had joined some other blog sites, thoughts.com, Open Book, I think it was one of them. But then I found WordPress, and so I've been at WordPress ever since. So I started the blogging out WordPress, and that's gone pretty good. Or an Open Diary, that's what it was called, Open Diary. The other one was Open Diary. And I enjoyed doing those, and Thoughts shut down. I think the people running it couldn't keep up with it. It was too much for them. It was just some people doing it. They weren't like a company. Like somebody who owns Facebook and stuff like that, like a company. The big old. It was just a few people that got together and was like, hey, let's try to start a blog site, and they were trying to run it on their time off. They all had like full-time jobs, and families, so they were trying to do this in between all that stuff, and it was just too much for them. So anyway, that's some more fun facts about Susan. If you're able to make it and see this video, if I don't get docked. Trying to decide what I'm going to do about my Discord thing. I'm wanting to send the help desk, what's it called, put in a help ticket or something again, and see if maybe they can find it still. I doubt it. I think I'll probably have to just start over, which, like I said, is on the most part not a big deal, but there was 2 or 3 things on there that I would have liked to keep that I can't get back. So anyway, that's such as life. We lose some stuff, that happens, things, we lose things and we never get them back. So anyway, well, we're pushing 28 minutes, so a 30-minute video, about a 30-minute video is pretty good. So I think I'll end it here, and hopefully this gets out to everybody. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year to everybody. Hang in there. I know this can be a rough time for a lot of people because of just a lot of reasons. I'm saying? Life sucks sometimes. And times like this just remind us of some of the crap that's hitting the fan in our lives. And it's not easy. So everybody just hang in there. This too shall pass. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or complaints, you can put them in the comment section, or even some prayer requests. I was thinking of doing that. I don't know. Did I mention that? I can't remember if I mentioned that already. I was thinking of doing it. I might have done it in one of the other videos, but I don't remember. But if I haven't, you can leave prayer requests in the comment section also. And I most certainly will pray for you and for them. And I'm pretty sure I did, because I was talking about the unspoken. Yeah, yeah. Remember, if you watched that video, I was talking about how back in the 80s it was a big thing. Oh, go around the room at a Bible study or something for prayer, and then he's like, well, I have an unspoken. Like, so many people would do that. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it got to the point, like I think I said in that other video, that the leader would just go, okay, if anybody has an unspoken prayer request, just raise your hand right now. And like half the room would raise their hand. Everybody has some type of unspoken request, prayer request. Um, yeah, right. But anyway, it's really no laughing matter. I mean, we all deal with stuff, and we don't want to air a lot of our garbage and dirty laundry and go into details. And some medical issues, you don't want to go into detail because it's in sensitive spots. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna share that. So I mean, there is legitimate reasons to have unspoken prayer requests. There really is. Um, but it just was like a trend. It just seemed like there was a trend back in the 80s. And people have some of the Christian realm, in the Christian realm, there are some comedians and stuff that talk about it. So, and that is a trend that did happen, I admit. I lived through it. So, um, all right, I guess that's it. I'll end this. And Yeshua's blessings on everyone. And until next time, thanks for listening.